Hi, welcome back to the Dylan Rounds case. Welcome if you're currently here in the live chat. I appreciate it. There's a number of things to talk about today, okay? We've got two new posts to look at. One direct update and response from Candice Cooley, see what that's all about. The next one is an interesting article associated with mine shafts and Dylan Rounds. We'll take a look at that. And then we'll just talk about a few loose things within the community because there is a shift in traffic, people coming and going, that can be explained. And then we might even do a little map analysis. In other words, bit of dodgy time. I think some people missed out the live experience yesterday, which was unfortunate, or turned up very late, Joseph. But it's okay. I guess the main thing is you can rewatch videos if you missed them, such as the last one. If you didn't watch my previous video, make sure to check it out after watching this one. There'll be a link down below in the pinned comments, okay? Now, before we continue anymore, just to acknowledge people's presence, shout out to Salty Pancakes, who appeared in the chat last night with a super thanks. My man! Okay? I don't have any salt with me, but I can go and get some right now. I managed to find some sea salt. It is back to front because of, front-facing camera. But here's the salt. Pancakes, get your pancakes ready, okay? It's time to sprinkle some salt, okay? Forget about blessing time with all the water. That can wait. Now it's time for the salt, okay? Can you see the salt coming out? There we go. Is that enough pancakes or do you want some more salt? Well, there you go. Look at it, it's all coming out. Yeah, man. There you go. So you can sprinkle that salt on your pancakes. There we go. All under control. Now, is there anyone else? Yes, Famous Up as well. I know, Famous Up, you've been asking where the horses are. Where is it? Where is it? Don't worry, the horse is back here. Okay. He's in stable condition. He's had a few carrots, a few apples and pears, and he waves to you. Now, the thing is, the horse wants to do a 1v1 with you on Fortnite. He's like ranked number 2 in the world, so you better be prepared. When he gets going, when he starts galloping, he does not stop, okay? So you're up for the challenge, Famous Up. You're going to battle this horse out, yeah? And what does the winner receive? Well, I know the loser can receive many, many whips. If the horse beats you, then the horse gets given lots of gifts and apples and rewards, okay? And if you win Famous Up, you get to ride the horse for however long you want. Is that a good deal? Yes? I thought so. So the horse will be seeing you very shortly. And as for Joseph, don't be too hasty, okay? Wait your turn. And speaking of turns, it's another time for someone to get whipped. Not for bad behaviour, but more for good behaviour. So shout out to Stephen, who become a recent member on the channel, but also their presence in the last live video premiere. with a super thanks. They said they wanted to be whipped. Now, hopefully Stephen is present right now. If not, remind him if he comes on later to rewind it back later to watch the part, okay? So obviously to other people, they're both thinking what's going on right now. Well, it's just an order that needs to be completed, okay? You think of all those takeaway deliveries, this is the whip delivery, okay? And you will receive. So, same position as last time. Stephen, come on, turn around. Turn around. You ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry, Stephen. I must have accidentally hit one of your turkeys. I'm sorry. Let me try again. 1, 2, 3. Whoa. That was a bit of velocity there and kickback. Yeah, was that good enough? Oh, you want 2 more? Okay. I'm sure that can be arranged. 1, 2, 3. Whoa. Damn. Calm down, boy. Wow. A lot of force behind this. You definitely can take them better than everyone else. So that's a new competition, okay? You know, to start fighting amongst yourselves in the live chat. Who can take it harder, okay? We'll have to see how that goes. Final one. 1, 2, 3. Whoa. Easy there. Calm down, turkeys. Turkeys, it's okay. Stephen is okay. Now, turkeys, shoo. Okay. Now, since that's out the way, tripods is absolutely fucked up right now, the angling of it. I said, welcome if you're currently here or if you've just suddenly joined. Don't worry, we are talking about the Dylan Rouse case. It was one of those things last night where some people joined late and were like, what? Why are we talking about coffee and prices of food? Well, it's just one of those things. It happens. Mistakes can be made. But if you want to rewind back, then you'll know what was originally talked about. So I think it's time now we go onto the Facebook post and check out what Candice Cooley has had to say as an update. So here we are, find Dylan Round's Facebook page, and as you see, Candice Cooley 1 day ago in bold text, update. Ooh. What does she have to say? Well, let's begin reading. Where should we start? Okay. So I guess she's tagging Justin Rounds as well. That's why it's in blue. So she said, Justin Rounds and I would like to thank all you for helping us keep Dylan's name out there and keeping him in your hearts and prayers. We will bring him home. We have many other search plans in the works. We are just working around the weather. So that's interesting. I mean, let's just highlight it right away. The wording and the language is positive. It's kind of vague, so you would assume she is being positive towards everyone, right? But I know to some viewers that would seem like a contradiction considering she's recently criticised Ty and Lance in the recent interview on No Thanks. And she also did it previously before that and before that. So once again, ultimately, we are seeing a pattern and a trend in which Candice Cooley will praise people and then criticise them, praise people, criticise them. Okay, I'm just wording it how it is. Now, Candice Cooley could just well be thanking all of the members on this Facebook page and not externally, right? That's another way of looking at it, because it wouldn't make any sense to praise someone and then call them out afterwards. But then again, what does make sense? Even just in the community where people might go on other people's channels, say something, go elsewhere, say the opposite. It's no surprise, okay? You can leave your thoughts down below to what you think already about this message. Have you heard it 1,000 times before? Is it anything new to you? Okay. So she says, we will bring him home. I mean, that's good, positive in terms of mindset, considering how long things have gone on for. But I feel, one way of looking at it is, although it's dragged on for so long, and other people who aren't a part of the family or the case directly might become disinterested or lose hope. It's natural to happen. And I know family and close ones will have to maintain that hope regardless. I know that as well. But there's only so much you can do emotionally. But I think with the recent search, the cooperation and assistance voluntary by the K9 unit, Equisearch, and even Mob Crew Chris, I think it has given her more hope, almost like a boost to keep on pushing. And that can happen when things go to shit and everything is a complete mess, and then out of nowhere something good happens, or some kind of movement occurs, and then it's like, oh, that's all I needed. Let's return back to doing whatever. So, it's one of those things. She says, working around the weather, which is true. Winter being present, making it cold. For some people, if you didn't know already, the temperature has to be 43, I think, degrees Celsius above that. If not, and it's below, then the sniffer dogs, the cadaver dogs, cannot be used. I assume that's just down to the scent and how successful it is, right? It would make sense. But also, aside from that, the actual ground as well, it can become hard, can't it? Just because of it being cold. If it's a bit wet, a bit moist, then it freezes over, forms ice. You see it with dirt and mud, how that can freeze and becomes rock solid, right? You try digging in that, it's not going to be as easy. Now, the question I want to put forward is because Star Jasmine, the default profile who shows up at times, whinges and whines and said, oh, you never took into account the weather and how it can affect and impact stuff. Well, actually, very early on when I got involved, I did mention and question the weather when it came to the footprints, when it came to tyre tracks, when it came to the drones, when it came to the dogs. I questioned it all. And, certain weather, if it's extremely hot, it can prevent searches. If it's extremely cold, it can prevent searches, right? Not just people, but the resources used. So the question I want to put forward right now, I don't know if I'll do it, and I'll do it as a poll, okay? If you don't know, then you don't know, but I'll just do it as a poll. Basically, okay, the likes of drones and ground-penetrating equipment, whatever that is, would that sort of stuff work if it was cold, like how it's been described here? And when I say the drone, I mean the drones that take photos and then analyse it for soil disturbance, like what's done recently. Would those type of resources become ineffective just like the dogs if it was cold? Yes or no? Feel free to vote now. Might as well get that little discussion started. Candice Cooley also says that there are several plans, which is good. I don't know if that'll be during winter or after. She did say in spring, I think. But even if in areas they didn't find much, she will return back. And I mean, it's got something to do with her mindset. She feels strongly that Dylan's within that area, roughly speaking. That's why she wants to, go over it, comb over, make sure nothing has been missed. Yeah, understandable. Not heard anything about the drone photos yet. I assume they're still being analysed, I guess. Let's see what else is being talked about down here. Candice then goes on to say, with that being said, oh, does this go into a negative now? Oh, shit. It did have to get cut short, didn't it? But here we go. Candice says, with that being said, we have many people asking about the mainstream media outlets that are starting to cover Dylan's case and what we as a family are getting out of it. Please listen to us. We will never take a dime for an interview, nor have we. This is not about money or fame or attention. This is about Dylan and only Dylan. If you cannot support Justin Rounds and I in keeping Dylan's name out there, please leave the page, as this is our one and only focus. Right. So I think one thing to highlight immediately, Candice Cooley's response is more aimed at the people on this page. As it says, please leave the page if you're not going to support us and Dylan and the cause. So, okay, so it doesn't seem like this is meant externally. It can still be taken externally with like the whole questioning, because what has happened is on YouTube, certain channels and panels might have talked about Candice Cooley, the money situation, the documentary coming out, making money off of it, you know, that type of stuff, and rumours. It would have engaged people's minds, created a bit of intrigue, so they would have created an account or may have already had one, joined this Facebook page and then started private messaging Candice Cooley. I assume that's how it's gone and that's what's happened recently, so that's why she's come out with this reply. So she's not directly talking to people on YouTube, right? But I feel it can still apply because that's where rumours also come from as well. I can't really say too much on this because I've not, seen like documents or like bits of evidence or bits of audio or anything saying, oh, this person's received a transaction or this person's been paid for this and that. I've not seen any of that. All I'll do is leave it to you, the viewer, in the live chat right now or in the comment section afterwards, whichever one. Leave your thoughts and opinions. As said, as we go along in this video, like up to now, you can share your thoughts and talk about the case. Where do you think we are at in the case? Do you think progression has been made, or is it still kind of standing still, frozen, not really got anywhere? Leave your thoughts. And the primary question right now, what do you think and feel about Candice Cooley's response to this, about saying that they're not receiving any money and they will not take any money if they do appear in an interview? Well, you can leave your thoughts down below. I'm surprised no one's tried creating a rumour about like payments, interviews on No Thanks channel with Candice Cooley. I'm surprised no one's like suggested that. I mean, I guess it's a good thing in a way. It's like one less piece of drama, but you never know what comes next. And, I'll just highlight it one more time. People will say, oh, you shouldn't get involved with this and that and cover this or talk about that. But, if it directly ties within the case or certain key individuals, there's no harm in talking about it, right? That's what the whole point of balance is. People say you shouldn't cover drama or talk about this individual, but I will do to an extent in order to maintain balance. If I just talk about one person or cover something negative, only one-sided, then it's imbalanced and it just goes to shit. So to balance it out, we look at someone else or we look at another situation, whether it's good or bad. It's necessary, okay? We've got this far, so why suddenly change or stop, And when I say stop, I mean in terms of the balance, okay? So is there anything else I can interpret from this? Not really. As you can see, the hashtag that's being used now is Dylan's Legacy, and you would have heard that first being used on the East Idaho News channel. Not the last one, but the one before that, okay? I'd have been like a couple of months ago. Now, when they say Dylan's legacy, I guess is a word normally used when looking back at someone's life and what they've done and created. So, like how some people might have been hopeful that Dylan is alive? It seems like a slow process, but the family are passing over that line and accepting the dark, outcome, but still being hopeful and just returning him for the justice part. So, you can leave your thoughts down below. I don't know if I'll do a poll. I'll do a little poll right now, okay? Do you think Dylan is still alive or not? Might even add a third option in saying, do you think he might have been alive up to a certain point and then it was too late? Okay, just to see where people are at and how people think. Okay, that's all it is. Is there an image down here? Okay, so that's of Dylan Rounds on I think, is that a lawnmower? We'll try and check out the comments if it's possible. Okay. I don't know how many there are, but we'll just briefly skim through them. So they're saying prayers, like usual. Choline. Is that choline? Yeah. Oh, I'm thinking of something else. Colon. Oh, I was thinking of colon. Oh, fuck. Never mind. So Colleen says, I can't believe people actually want to ask you what you would be getting out of it. I can't even comprehend that would be a question. I think it would be pretty obvious what you're getting out of it, which is to get your son's story out there in an effort to try and bring him home. We definitely do not have a short supply of stupid in this country, and it's rather frightening. Well, don't worry. It applies to other countries as well, including the UK, so don't worry. But yeah, I mean, there's obviously two ways, and really only two ways. One, how could people even question this or that about someone, whether it be Lance Ty, Candice Cooley, Justin? And then the other side would be, you can't help but think and question because it's a case, it's a mystery, it's open-ended. If the facts don't quite add up and the switch and change, then you've got to take matters into your own hand and form your own opinions and thoughts, ideas, and that might lead to questioning, right? It's just how it goes. With the Kenny Veach case, exactly the same. Thinking family members might be corrupt, some people are in on it, about the interviews, anyone getting paid, you never know. But that's only because it was lacking in clarity. If there is clarity, then there is less questioning, right? And you could say, well, that has happened, but what's not gone too well is clarifying something, but then leaving something else open for questioning. You remember? Just like with the dirt mound and maybe the grain shed saying, yeah, we have searched the grain shed and we've searched around the area and we've not found Dylan. We also checked the dirt mound. And up to that point, you think, okay, that's one part of the question answered, or that's the whole thing completed. Now I'm no longer confused. And then Candice then comes in and says, well, actually, about the dirt mound, it's been searched, it hasn't, it hasn't, no, it hasn't, it's not been touched. And then that opens a new question and more confusion. Do you get the process? And I think that's why people are questioning and reaching out. I don't know who exactly, and I don't know if it's like little minions being sent out, coming on, questioning. Anything else? It's one of those things now where as you're going through the Facebook page or some of the comments, maybe some of the users might actually be watching the video right now, just like Joy Perry, who showed up at one point. So shout out to Joy Perry, the speech to text individual. Okay. It's just mainly all positive. Okay. What's this? Emily says, frankly, it's none of the people's business whether you keep the money or not. Some people need to learn to respect others' privacy. I'm sorry you've been hassled about it. So this person is technically in support of Candice Cooley if she was to receive money or just in rounds. So does that make Emily just as dodgy as how other people might think of someone? Leave your thoughts down below. I mean, this person saying, it's none of other people's business. So what? Who cares? All that matters is finding Dylan. But, if you're saying the money, oh, yeah. And Candice Cooley is the one that is very strict on the idea of people shouldn't be benefiting of this and that directly. Some of the channels, but then this person's kind of supporting it. A little bit contradictions there in a sense. Anything else? We need moisture. What? Is that Joseph? What does this person say? You are dealing with, yes. If you wonder why I keep cutting and, when I'm talking, because some of it isn't that important, so I just stop. So you do have people getting the stickers and seeds. I mean, we could do a little question right now, a little poll, just see who's engaging and who isn't. Or who is on the Find Dylan Rounds Facebook page and stuff. Okay. So, do a poll right now. In the poll, I'm going to ask you. Have any of you received or got Dylan Brown's posters, Dylan Brown's plant seeds, bracelets, the stickers as you've seen online? Have any of you got them or bought them or something? I don't know. We just get an idea of that. Oh, what's going on here? Leanne says, take the money if it's offered. No judgment here. It cost a lot of gas to go back and forth to look for him, and keeping your search efforts going. Use it to help find Dylan. You could also take it and start a college scholarship for other wanting to go to school for agriculture. So this individual is not in on it, but in on the idea of money. So you're going to probably see at some point, especially if you've got these other media outlets coming in, okay, covering the case, you might get a divide at some point. So many think money should be made off the case, and so many other people think it shouldn't be. You get other people out there who think, oh, I couldn't give a fuck, let's just solve the case, and that's fair enough as well. But I think you might start seeing a bit of a divide at some point. Now, I don't know if any of you heard about it. I briefly heard of it. Supposedly Jim Terry, we know him now, don't we? Jim Terry. I'll be honest with you, when I heard of Jim Terry at the start, I was like, who's Jim? Because when I first started learning about James Brenner, people shortened his name to Jim. When people talked about Jim Terry and called him Jim, I thought Jim was Jim Brenner. And then I thought, why is Jim Brenner on YouTube? So I got very confused. But then I eventually found out, okay, Jim Terry. But at that point, then I thought, wait, is Jim Terry like a car salesman? His name sounds like a car salesman or something. Don't know like a dodgy one or not. Jim Terry, want to buy this car? It's all-wheel drive. Don't worry, the all-wheel drive works and the seat is adjustable. Sorry, I was only lying, man. No, you're not going to get the money back. Sorry, have a good day. That's what I thought. Jim Terry's interesting name. But aside from that, Jim Terry did say at some point recently that some media or news outlet reached out to him talking about covering the case and wanting to either interview or incorporate Jim Terry into this video, film, documentary, news coverage whatsoever. Jim Terry talking about how there's groups out there, media outlets that are suspicious of Candice Cooley and the family and are in on the dark side, as Jim Terry quotes it, just like how he supposedly was since day one, right? I mean, you call it the dark side. I think you just basically call it being somewhat realistic and a little bit alert. That's like how I was within the Kenny Veach case, and I incorporated that in terms of the Dylan Rounds case, but you can't go too dark. You go too dark, you lose the balance. So, I mean, it's good overall. Would you call it a microcosmic ecosystem of society? Oh my God, look at these fancy words I'm coming out with. Wow. But yeah, so you will have the dark side, like Jim Terry, maybe Mr. X and some of the followers, etc. Maybe Pancakes is bordering onto the dark side. I'm not too sure. It's a bit in and out, in and out. And then on the light side, you'll have the mob crew, Chris, to an extent, Zav Girl. Some people would say Doug, other people wouldn't. Anyone else on the light side? Maybe Black Dove at a certain point in time. And then I'm in the middle. Okay. That's kind of like how it works in terms of different thoughts and ideas. People that think very negatively and dark, but maybe sharply realistic. And then other people that are much lighter, positive, just as maybe successful, but there's a small chance of being a bit delusional at times, a bit backfires. That's kind of like how it is. But yeah, overall it's good to have good and bad and all the questioning. If you don't have the questioning, then you won't really have developments. What else do we have here? Good idea with anything offered. Okay. Candice, you and Justin, keep doing what you're doing. Those of us not foolish enough to look past your love for your boy and trying to get him home will never question your intent. To do so is disrespectful, and I agree. Leave if you think it's about money and attention. Sick to even think that. He will be found. You guys are doing the right things. Don't let the critics get to you. They should just shut up and think of what they'd do to get their son back if it was them. So, the only thing I will throw in, we'll mention it again because it doesn't get talked about too much, okay? Some people may know, some people may not. Don't know if you'd call it a rumour, possibly, because I've not really seen any documents, news articles about it. But people over time have talked about Candice Cooley stealing like 100,000 or something off a business she was in, or Justin's business. Can't remember exactly how the structure was, but she stole money. Is that true? Has anyone heard that before? I mean, there'll be people in the chat right now that would have heard me bring it up briefly. I'm just bringing it up once again because, as you know, with time, new people come to the channel. There might be new viewers right now, so there's no harm in just raising the question, asking about it, because it doesn't seem to get talked about enough. And if it was true, does it really matter with the Dylan Rounds case? I mean, if certain actions were money-driven in the past, then you could associate that with now, possibly. That's all I'm saying, right? If it wasn't the case and it was a rumour, then what's going on right now? You know, not much. You think about it, just to balance things out, when it came to YouTube, if Candice Cooley didn't get paid there whatsoever, then I don't think there's need to get paid in, like, news interviews and stuff, because like she has already appeared on the East Idaho News channel on YouTube, also been interviewed on ABC4 News Utah, Fox News, Fox 10 or something. So I guess really the one thing you could do is work backwards, right? So if any of you were questioning about Candice Cooley, is she going to get paid? Is she benefiting right now in some way? If that's how you think and feel, maybe to get to the bottom of it, why not track back? Whether it be to tie up loose ends, to dispel that rumour, that negative rumour, or to reinforce it. Look back at previous interviews of Candice Cooley on YouTube, on official news channels, and try and see if it's possible to find out whether she was paid or not. Because if she wasn't paid then, but she was getting Dylan's case out there and spreading awareness, then surely it would apply once again with this documentary, right? Spreading awareness but not receiving anything in return. Just leave your thoughts down below, okay? And if you think it's worth doing, feel free to check yourself if you can find out about it. The whole interviews in the past, did anyone get paid, right? Duty Ron, okay, I've not really seen his videos. I don't really like the format in my opinion. Candice, your focus is right where it should be, and whether you take money to support the cause of finding Dylan or not, it's up to you. No judgment here. I continue to hope and pray that you will be guided. Hang in there. There is hope ahead. Okay. Jackie Brooks, not the Brook. Apologies if you find this a little bit boring. I just wanted to read through it, just to skim through it, just in case we find anything of interest. And as well, because if I'm doing a map video later in the video, I know people will join late and then think it's got nothing to do with Dylan. So I just thought, let's just focus on Dylan right now, or things associated with it. Because this is the thing, whilst I'm reading through these comments, there might be a certain point, a question, a point made, a theme, which then reminds me to talk about something else, which I was going to in this video. So it's like indirect prompts, so it can help me as well. And let me know down below in the comment section or in the live chat, is it helpful to you when I read through these extra bits of details, or is it unnecessary? Okay. Let me know. Did I not read it all? Not sure why anyone would not already know this. You have never given that impression in any way at all. I see both of you frustrated, driven, strong in your determination to find and bring your son home, praying for Dylan and his entire family. This young man has a very loving family, and it is evident in every post or interview I've seen. Stay strong and don't allow anyone speaking this nonsense to upset you. They're simply not worth the effort or energy. Now, this is a key talking point, what we'll bring up right now. Yes, there's been a lot of love and support and care, right? But in the eyes, and I'm not saying it from my point of view, but in the eyes of skeptical people, I mean, it's, what do you call it? It's inevitable that you suddenly see a wave of support, care, and emotion when something bad has happened, when it's too late. Just like in any other situation, case in life, where a person might be lacking or something bad might be going on. But it's only once they're dead, then suddenly everyone cares all of a sudden. You know, that type of behaviour. I'm not saying it is directly associated with the Dylan Rounds case, but it's just that wording what this person said, saying, oh yeah, all the care and support. But it's like, but was it there to begin with? I mean, here we go. This is a good one. So if you had a school shooter and they did it as a form of retaliation, not because they're mentally unstable, but they did it as a response back towards people that have treated them like shit, turned them into a monster, messed around with them, caused issues like that. Yes, it's not the way to go, but it's a form of doing it. And this is the thing what people also need to take in mind. People out there say, oh, it's good to have different people in this world who think different and act different, because if we were all the same, then the world would be a boring place. Well, if that's the case, then people who retaliate back, both positive and negative, should both coexist with one another to maintain balance in life and that original positive quote. Because if not, then you're contradicting yourself and then you're a hypocrite. So you got to take that in mind. But I'm talking about like the school shooters where they get treated badly, then they do something bad back. Providing there's not really any collateral damage, obviously, because collateral damage means innocent people harmed. But then again, sometimes you could say collateral damage, is it innocent or not? If it was part of the crowd, the audience stood there watching and laughing, they're just as bad as the bullies. But nevertheless, they get harmed, hurt. But, you know, often the shooter might end up taking their own life as well in the process. But then you get the waves of comments online, whether it be by true crime enthusiasts or just random people out there, most likely. They end up saying, oh my God, if I was his friend, I would have spoken to him back then. I would have prevented it from happening. I would have held his hand back then. He would have been okay. Oh my God, I would have been there for them. Yeah, like I would have like been the ones hanging out with them and it would have been all fine. And it's like, but would you really, or you're only just saying it now because something bad has happened and now you're suddenly trying to care? We put in a different spin, but similar situation. If you have a criminal, okay, doing inappropriate things and they get caught, oh, they suddenly say they're sorry. No, they're sorry because they've been caught all of a sudden. They weren't saying sorry beforehand, were they? Only when they're caught. So it's more to do with when it's too late, when time's up, there might be a wave of emotion, a caring response. The question I put towards you in the chat, we won't do it as a poll, we'll just do it as an open-ended question in the chat, okay? Would you say that applies in the Dylan Rounds case? That all this love and support that's present right now wasn't there before Dylan went missing? Let me know. Dylan's out there in Lucin by himself, doing his own thing, getting on with stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm leaving it loose and open so we don't get too deep or too dark or go out of control. Some people might whinge and whine, as you know. Well, it is worth bringing up. Anything else? I watch from Texas. Yeah, there seems to be a few Texas people, like analytics, statistics. Shout out to the people from Divine. Is that Divine, Texas? People out there watching right now. And then elsewhere. So yeah, anything else going on here? These talkers lack heart and comprehension of the pain you're going through. They'll always be out there to add insult to injury. My heart goes out, okay. If anyone even thinks your guys are doing this for monetary gain, then they're horrible people. There's nothing greater than to have your child back. Yep. Is there much else going on? Keep moving forward. Ah, there we go. So shout out to Julia Marie, mobile notary. No idea what that is. But yes, Julia Maria. Not Maria, sorry, shit. Shout out to Maria as well, who sometimes shows up in the live chat. Do you prefer Maria or Maria? Maria. I don't know. I'm sure people can leave the preferences down below. But Julia, as you see on screen, the person with the glasses, she showed up on my channel at some point and subscribed. Shout out to them. They cover the true crime as well. I can't remember their username, but you know, if they show up in the live chat, then I'll say that's them. Okay. But yeah, they've been covering the case of Dylan, but also other stuff in between. Let's just see what's being talked about here anyway. So Julia says, I can't believe people would think y'all were getting paid for interviews. I haven't seen anything about it on YouTube, thankfully, until now. We all know y'all haven't asked for a dime and have funded everything that needed funding y'all selves. The audacity of some people, like seriously, those stating that obviously haven't paid a lick of attention to this case or how y'all have handled it. Wow, I'm sorry, another level of stupid came from this. Why y'all? Oh, is when I read it out, I can't help it. But Candice Cooley replies back saying, also, it is illegal for media to pay for a story. It's not the way people think. Interesting response. I mean, obviously I don't look too much into it, but so a story like this, it's illegal. Okay, quick question. Do you know when it came to that Jeffrey Dahmer thing on Netflix in recent time, was it necessary to be made to bring up the past of people who may still be alive today who's experienced it, like family or people in the family getting taken out by Dahmer in the past? You know what I'm saying? And people are still alive to this day. When that Jeffrey Dahmer, do you call it documentary or series, was made, were the families informed that it was going to be made? Were they paid to keep quiet, to turn their head and not complain? Was there any monetary gains there? Or were the family not informed and not paid whatsoever, or given, the choice to have it aired or not? You know what I'm saying? Or is that just a different type of thing? I mean, it is some kind of media, right? And, you got Heavy D as well, who's appeared on, like, the Discovery Channel, I think it was. And he's been paid in that way. What is that to do with a story? Not really. It's more to do with his company and what they get up to as a group. But it's worth just like briefly looking at these external examples, right? It might put things into perspective. Okay, so there's no one else saying yowl. And there we go. That's the end of the comments. Okay, so that went on a bit longer than expected, but it's still worth talking about as well. Certain length video equates to enough time to chat in the live chat. Okay, and we're not finished yet. Is there any other external non-important observations to take note of? All I would say is, okay, I don't know for age range, but in terms of voices, I don't know if it's default voices or similar sounding ones, but I've noticed there's a couple of people with croaky voices within the case, when they're talking. And like, on the panels on YouTube, who's it, like Bella V. And I think there was like a dodgy Bella V account that showed up in the last video or the video before that. Shame you didn't hear the voice. Do you imagine there was like some kind of voice chat thing on YouTube? Like in the comments, like you could drop a voice message or something like in a text. That'd be a bit weird, that. But yeah, with croaky voices like Bella V.
Oh, hi there, my name's Bella V. I'm working in the hospital, I'm a nurse. Oh, why do I sound like Marge Simpson from... Oh, homie, what are you doing over there? Come back to the bed.
You know, that type of rough voice. Did it sound American? I don't know. Can I just very quickly, because I just want to experiment. Can I combine a valley girl with a croaky voice?
Oh my god, I'm really had enough of this. Like, seriously, why are you starting all this drama? I've really had enough right now. Weebly, what are you doing over there? You should have joined a lot earlier, then you would have known what's going on. Oh my god.
So it kind of works. It sounds more like a transgender, so not quite well. Gay activist transgender. Why are you gay? That's just some random Uganda news report. I think it's Uganda. It could be somewhere else. Nigeria. I don't know. But aside from that, okay, we'll talk about the coming and going, the wave of people. So, in recent time, there might have been a drop-off with certain users, maybe because they've had enough of the case or true crime in general. You know, you watch so much, you take so much in. It might get too much. It might be too overwhelming or confusing, too deep, too much drama. You know, if it doesn't tick your preference, you're going to move on. If you're not directly tied up in the case, then you're probably going to move on, right? It's normal, not an issue. In terms of individuals that have gone quiet or completely disappeared, would be like Moonshine Dragon, okay? Julie, Cuppy, who else? There's someone else. My memory's not working right now. But there's a few people that have gone quiet, and then there'll be external ones as well. As for Moonshine... Oh, what was the person's name? I forgot now. Idiot. What was it? Hold on. Let me just get the key. Let me get this key. Just wind myself back up, because I've must have run out of charge. There we go. Did it work? No, it didn't. But certain individuals that have gone quiet, like Moonshine Sundragon, she said that she's just having a break from true crime. So if you wonder where Moonshine Sundragon is, she's taking a break from the Dylan Rounds case for now, okay? That's a normal thing to do. Oh, but who was that other person? You know, you know, she showed her face in the profile picture. It was like from the side angle, and then was smiling, and then had that medieval background on the channel art. Can't remember. I think Cleo will know. Oh, what was it now? I can't remember. Did it begin with an R? Was it Rhonda? Was it Rhonda? I think it was Rhonda. So Rhonda as well has disappeared alongside Cuppy. So I don't know where they are, what's going on, but you know, you'll see certain patterns like that where people will come and go, and then some people might return with time. So, you know, like in my case, have I like been like, oh my God, I need to get out of here right now, man? No. If it got to a point where I didn't cover it, it's just because there's not really much material to cover, or like the only other like really standout point would be when it gets to Christmas or near to Christmas. Focus on that. If there's like something very important in the Dylan Rounds case, then obviously make a video on it. But obviously, you know, Christmas, focus on that so it doesn't get too, you know, dragged out other things. But yeah, I think that's understandable in that area. What we should do now, though, more importantly, is move on to the next article to do with the mineshaft and stuff. See what that's all about. I'll read through it, we'll analyse it, break it down, see if there's any misinformation, any additional new information to fill in the blanks, if there's any interesting stuff that's not been talked about before. Clear it up, make sense of it. Let's head on over now. Right, here we are. The article is The Sun US, okay? And it's titled Missing Dylan Rounds Body May Be Hidden in Unmarked Mineshaft. Well, first of all, reading that's kind of unique because I've not really heard about that before this talk of it. And what I'm trying to explain is, from what we've heard within the case, people have been searching in the mine shafts, okay, volunteer group in Lucin, checking each one off the list, not finding Dylan. So why would it suddenly apply now, unless it's in a different area? It does say unmarked mine shaft. I mean, that's the thing what we've got to ask ourselves, first of all. How many mine shafts are out there, let's say in Lucin? How many are unknown of, unmarked? That's the next point, next part of the question. You know, okay, it's okay having search groups going out there, but if there is a mine shaft that's been hidden, concealed, filled in, you're not going to know, are you? It has been said that that volunteer group, the ones that were going into the shafts at the time, they came across 2 which were inaccessible. Makes you think those inaccessible ones, could that be where Dylan is at? I don't know if you could use a drone, like the depth of it. I'll just say one thing quickly. I'll do it as a poll, okay, because maybe people can answer more that way. If you used to incorporate a mine shaft with a drone, would the drone be able to take photos of the mine shaft or maybe so far inside? And then could the photos be taken and analysed, like with Equisearch, or will the drone not work with that depth and that environment? Let me know your thoughts down below. This article is by Luke Kenton, updated 9/12 ET, estimated time November the 8th, 2022, so it's kind of recent. You got a photo there of Dylan, of course, and then on the right is of his farm with the 2 trailers and his truck parked up, as you can see. I've seen that a few times. So it reads, a missing farmer who vanished into thin air 6 months ago may have been killed and his body stashed in one of the countless unmarked mine shafts near where he disappeared, a volunteer searcher believes. Okay, a few things to look into. So first of all, disappeared 6 months ago. That's a long time now, right? That's getting on. But it's the way it's worded. May have been killed. May have been. Well, up to this point, it's now being treated as a homicide investigation. So this person's a little bit behind on it, right? It's a homicide investigation. It's not, he may have been killed. It seems more likely now that he was killed, okay? First bit of language, a mistake made. Countless unmarked mine shafts. Are there countless, or is that just an easy word to use because you don't know how many mine shafts are actually out there in Lucin? You know, sometimes you use easy language just to put out there if you're not quite sure. I mean, I probably have done it at times myself. But yeah, leave your thoughts down below. Do you think there are countless mine shafts out there that still have not been searched? Apologies, but I will do another poll right now because it's important. Do you feel that there are unexplored mine shafts within Lucin that have not been searched? Yes or no? Because if there are, then they probably need looking at, right? And it says a volunteer searcher believes what's been stated above. Who is this volunteer searcher? Is it a recent one or a past one? They don't seem to mention the person's name. Kind of interesting. Let's continue reading. Dylan Rounds hasn't been seen or heard from since the morning of May 28th, when then the 19-year-old called his grandmother as he worked on his farm in the remote town of Lucin in northwest Utah. So yeah, that does tie in line with mentioning May 28th as last known contact via the phone and the pings. And yes, morning time, 7:01. No, 6:50. The reason why I said 7:01, I'm thinking of 7 a.m., 7 o'clock in the morning because of Chase Venstra. No. This is referring to this article, Dylan Rounds specifically at the gate to the grain shed, going up to it. And 6:51 a.m. in the morning, reaching out to her grandmother, and then Brenner. Brenner did not reply. It had been 6:51. He probably was asleep. You know, he doesn't seem like the type of person that would wake up early, right? If he's got a bit of a hangover, he was a bit drunk. If he's regularly drunk, that can impact a person's sleep and how long they sleep for. So you've got to take that into mind. There's another picture of Dylan. Dylan Rounds has been missing since May 28th. He lived in Lucin. So he lived. Shouldn't you say he lives in Lucin? I guess it depends how you interpret it, right? In the case, if you think he's gone, then you'll say he lived, his legacy. If you think he's alive, you'd say he lives here. So obviously this article is taking it more into mind that it's probably, bad outcome. It says Utah credit Katie Wells. Who is Katie Wells? Now, I think Katie Wells did a previous article which I analysed, I'm sure. But Wells, the last name Wells, does that tie in with anyone within the case? I'm not too sure. What's this image of? Interesting photo. Is this of a mine shaft, a cave? Is this from Lance Kelly's footage or Heavy D's when they were inside? It says, volunteer searchers are scouting abandoned mine shafts along the Utah-Nevada border. Lance Kelly, credit. Okay, so I was kind of right. Interesting. So we've got a bit of a backstory now. This is from Lance Kelly's videos. Well, one of them at least. Don't know how far back it dates. It doesn't say. And that's the volunteer searcher. Volunteer searchers are scouting abandoned mine shafts along the border. So when they say along the border, they're probably mainly referring to, the mountainous part between Lucin, Utah, and Montello, Nevada. More on the Montello, Nevada side, which might overlap onto the Lucin side in certain areas. More specifically around Bald Eagle Mountain. That's probably where this photo was taken, Bald Eagle Mountain. Okay, you've seen those videos. You might have seen Heavy D's as well, where they came in with the equipment to look inside the caves and the mine shafts. Well, it was mainly mine shafts. Long videos, but they were quite good to watch and in-depth. Got an idea of the area and what it looked like inside. Also, if you're into mines, mine shafts, kind of like this, what you see on screen, but more of them and more focused and dedicated, make sure to check out Exploring Abandoned Mines and Unusual Places. He's done a couple side mysteries as well, including the M Cave visit, and as well the weird doll mystery, coming across a weird road in the middle of nowhere with random dolls scattered about, very creepy. Make sure to check his channel out. His name of the channel, I said, Exploring Abandoned Mines and Unusual Places. Sometimes you might see him make the odd appearance on my channel in the comments and post, so that's good of him. But yeah, interesting. So if it's saying about volunteer searches, and then next thing you know it says Lance Kelly, is this article dedicated to Lance Kelly in a way? Do you like where it says stashed in one of countless unmarked mine shafts near where he disappeared, a volunteer searcher believes? Is that volunteer searcher basically Lance Kelly, as mentioned down here under the caption of the photo? It makes me believe so. Now, it's I don't know, at the moment it's more of an opinion, right? And I don't know if this article still applies now, because you do have Lance Kelly in most recent time looking in the open, such as on Lucin, but like going to Governor Spring and finding items there, not so much mine shafts. Most of the mines seem to be in the mountainous part on the Montello side. I might be wrong, but that's just how it looks visually when you look on the maps. But one of those things where you might be able to get other maps out there that cover it, but unfortunately with Google Earth, doesn't seem to take in mind all of the mine shafts, right? Like the historical sites or the well-known ones will be named and listed, but the unlisted, unmarked ones, there'll be probably many out there that don't show up on the maps. And even when you try zooming in, it's very hard to find or see a mine shaft because you're looking right down at it, If it was a cave, though, on the side of a mountain, that would actually be easier to see because you just look for an opening where it's slightly dark. Don't mean to say it's always going to be a cave, but visually it stands out more and it's easier to locate than a mine shaft. So we'll do another poll right now. What are your thoughts on this article? Do you believe yourself, like with this volunteer searcher, that Dylan is somewhere in an unmarked mine shaft? Yes or no? Make sure to vote now. Okay. Continue reading. Here we go. This is a photo. Now, I've not actually seen this photo before from this angle on ground level. Don't know where they got it from. This is of Dylan's farm. You can see a few mounds of dirt collected there. Seems to be a yellow bucket as well on the ground and some pipes. 2 trailers in the background. Don't worry, I'm sure those mounds of dirt was there already. Don't need to dig it up. I don't know why it is there then. And then there's a dog. I don't know whose dog that is. It's probably, fucking name. Oh, why can't I say it? Justin Round's Candice Cooley, their dog, or Justin's dog, or Candice's dog, whoever's dog. That's the dog that appeared in the Heavy D interview inside of the grain shed, you remember? Rounds had been working as a farmer in Utah. Credit News Nation YouTube. News Nation YouTube. I've not heard of that channel before. Okay. Let's continue reading. What happened to Dylan after he hung up the phone remains a complete mystery. He was reported missing 2 days later, and a search of his property yielded a pair of bloodied boots found dumped behind a dirt pile that family members believe belonged to Dylan. Bloodied boots, but there was only a drop of blood found on one of the boots. So it's a slight exaggeration here in this article. It goes on to say Dylan's truck was also still parked next to his trailer. The vehicle had been pressure washed and the driver's seat had been moved very far forward as if to accommodate a shorter person. Doesn't seem to mention about the all-wheel drive being turned on despite it being broken and not working. So have they failed to include that detail? It says the key fob for the truck was missing and the car was locked. Something he apparently never did. Right, just skipped past a few dodgy photos. I don't know why they're up there, but it continues to read and say, additionally, Dylan's pistol was missing from his trailer and no tracks or footprints were found on the ground. Kind of misinformation there, this article. Bit of misinformation, okay? No tracks or footprints. Well, there are track marks, but elsewhere, such as near a wash. Okay, that doesn't seem to be included here. Dylan's pistol missing from his trailer. It was missing, yes, but it was not from his trailer. It was missing from his pickup truck, his burgundy truck, as you saw in the photos above. That's where Dylan stored his gun just about all the time. It was missing, though it was returned at a later point to Dylan's trailer. Okay, so just clear that up. Goes on to say months of appeals from police and Dylan's family seeking information about what may have happened to the teen have so far turned up few leads. Well, where it says months of appeals from police and Dylan's family, more so Dylan's family, more proactive. As for the police, I wouldn't say they've gone above and beyond, in my opinion. So slight misinformation again from this article. And in fact, now the LE, despite being the main ones and the awkward ones, the stubborn ones and the most resistant, have gone quiet in recent time and become submissive. So that's a new change in developments as well. Let's see what else it goes on to say. But Lance Kelly has been scouring Utah and Nevada desert every day for months in search of answers for the Rounds family. I've got a feeling some people are probably going to get triggered by this for some reason. I don't know if Lance Kelly spends every day searching for Dylan. If he did, then respect to him. If he didn't, respect to him, because at the end of the day, you can only do so much, right? You know, if there's other things going on as well in between. I think the reason why this article assumes that Lance is out there every day, just because of like the video is being uploaded every day. But as said, Lance might go on the odd search or two, or within a couple in a week, record a lot of footage, then upload it one by one every day. So then it keeps the case alive more longer and more consistent, right? Keeps the talking points. And as well, as they said, uploading an entire length video could be hours upon hours, and that takes a long time to upload to YouTube, maybe with the internet connection over there. So it is understandable. Let's continue reading. Speaking to the US Sun, Lance, 33, said he first learned of Dylan's disappearance just a few days after the teen vanished. Okay, interesting. I didn't know Lance was 33. Okay. I'd say Lance has got a good haircut, the way it's like spiky. It looks kind of cinematic in a way. But yeah. So for, people wondering how did Lance get involved or when, it says there, just a few days after he vanished. And, it makes sense because, if you're in Montello, in the town visiting or the outer skirts, if the talk in town is about Dylan, it's the most, important subject matter at that time, you're going to hear about it eventually, right? And that's what must have happened here. And as well, Lance talking to the US Sun. Did any of you know about that? I didn't. Maybe it might have been mentioned in a live stream. So what you will start seeing, aside from Candice Cooley doing her own media, getting involved, and maybe a documentary being made and news channels reaching out to her, you might get news channels reaching out to the likes of Jim Terry. Then you got news channels reaching out to the likes of Lance. Do you know what I'm saying? How you're getting those different sides. You might have the dark side, the light side coverage, and then in the middle. So it'll be interesting to see how the stories align with one another if they do. Leave your thoughts down below. So scrolling down a little bit more, there's a few more articles. What did it say? Big day approaches. Secret details of Tiffany Trump's bridal shower, including not safe for work gifts. What? What's that got to do with this? Not safe for work gifts. How bad could it be? I've got a belt right next to me. Come on, and a horse. Anyway, let's carry on reading. This is still to do with Lance, okay? I think. Well, I assume it says Lance. Lance. He says he's determined to bring Dylan home and has vowed not to stop searching until he does. By chance, at around the same time, he then met Dylan's father, Justin Rounds, who had come into a food bank in nearby Montello, Nevada, where he was volunteering seeking information about his son. Okay, interesting. We're actually getting some, well, to me at least, from my opinion, new information, background check. That's good, that, and it sums it up as well. So Justin Rounds in Montello, food bank. I didn't know there was a food bank in Montello. Working there, volunteering, but also reaching out to people if anyone knows of stuff. So, it makes sense, the order and the actions and steps taken, proactive as well. Yeah, not going in with violence or high demands, just trying to communicate with people. And obviously with Lance being from Montello as well, in the same place, same time. And then eventually coming across Ty Corbin as well, who's also in the area. So it says in quotes by Lance, "I've never seen someone so devastated before," Lance recounted. "You could just see he was in an extreme amount of pain, an unimaginable amount of pain, just not knowing where his son was. He was definitely fighting back tears, and he did eventually cry. It was hard not to." So you're also seeing another side to Justin in a way. People aren't always going to show everything, right? That's normal. But like when it came to the interviews and we're trying to figure out who's who, Justin, Candice, are they reacting? Are they showing emotion? And, people were saying, no, they weren't. That's a bit suspicious. And over time, the personalities changed or kind of developed. So you saw a bit more into them. And more in recent time, with hearing Justin speak more, he's revealing and opening up more than Candice Cooley. Would you agree with that? So just this little bit of information from Lance recounting meeting Justin for the first time. You've seen just a bit more depth to the individual, right? Both Lance and Justin. Okay. What else? More quotes. I have two young ones myself, so it really affected me emotionally too. It got to me seeing how cut up his family was. So my friend, Ty Corbin, and I were part of the fire department at the time, and we told Justin we'd organise a search over the Nevada side of the border, and that's how it all got started. Oh, okay. Both Ty Corbin and Lance were part of the fire department at that time. Interesting. That is interesting. I didn't know. I know people said that Lance was like a part of the fire department in the past, but I didn't think it was, recent to the Dylan Rounds case, and also Ty Corbin as well. So, leave your thoughts down below. Did you know of this information before? It's kind of interesting to read. It's a change for once, isn't it? Breaks up the repetitiveness. A good place to hide a body, in quotes. Unable to comprehend losing a child of his own, Lance assured Justin that he and Ty wouldn't stop looking for Dylan until they found him. In quotes. That was the last thing I said to Dylan's dad before he left town, and I'm not going back on my word, he said. 6 months on, Lance has kept the promise he made to the Rounds family. Almost every day, the pair ventures out into the desert for several hours to look for clues as to where Dylan may be, or where he may have gone. Yes, that is true. But though arguably in recent time now, it's not so much Lance and Ty, they're doing their own things separately due to a disagreement, so they've not really included that here. Recently, they've turned their attention to exploring caves and many abandoned mine shafts around the Montello and Lucin areas. What's this? One thing people say around here is if you want to get rid of a body, you do it in a wash or you do it in the mine shafts. Lance Kelly, volunteer searcher, none. Okay. Right, so there's a quote from Lance, and I guess it's the talk around town that's like the most effective and most frequent way of getting rid of people. So a lot of people might be of talk saying, yeah, you get rid of the person this way or that way. Has anyone actually done it before? So before Dylan went missing, if anyone else has gone missing and have been found, or if someone just found a dead person within a mine shaft or a wash, has this occurred already in the past? I want to know, because maybe we can establish a certain pattern, right? And then it can be reinforced by this quote from Lance. Okay? Go and carry on reading. Lance and Ty document their search efforts on their YouTube page, Earthworm Entertainment. Well, it's infotainment. And last week spent several hours exploring a vertical mine. In quotes, we usually go out in the early morning and come back around 3 or 4, Lance said of his daily search attempts. In more quotation marks. We head up to the mines up here in the mountains because those would have been pretty accessible to Dylan and the washes too. Why would it need to be accessible for Dylan if Dylan is not alive? Shouldn't it be more worded as accessible for the likes of maybe Brenner or Don Hately or someone like that, providing there is like a dirt road for the vehicle to be driven on, right? Below that, quotations. One thing people say around here is if you want to get rid of a body, you do it in a wash or you do it in the mine shafts. There are so many mine shafts out here and a bunch of them aren't even listed. It's a big task, he added. I think we just need to keep going and doing what we're doing. And I think one day we'll be able to bring him home. So that's the attitude I'm having. Every day we don't find him, that's just another place we can cross off the list. I mean, it's the correct mentality to have, because obviously most days when you don't find anything or Dylan, instead of it being a negative and thinking, oh no, not again. It's more of a positive saying, well, at least it, closes one loose end off, makes it a little bit easier the next time when looking somewhere. What's this? Subtitle, Bringing Dylan Home. Well, it has not yet been determined whether Dylan is dead or alive. His family has previously expressed fears that he was murdered, insisting he wouldn't just go walking out into the desert. No, probably not. I mean, someone like Aidan Clune, who had psychological issues, left his vehicle on the highway and then just went into the desert in a certain direction. Cherry Mountains or something it's called. Near to Wendover, I think, going southwest into the desert, and it's like, oh, the person's not thinking straight. There's things going on which they can't control. But with Dylan seemed like strong and focused, so there'd be no need to walk off. Now, I get that, and with like the boots as well just being found by the side of the mound, there'd be no need, explanation. It wouldn't make any sense for him to just take them off and then just suddenly walk off, unless he had psychological issues, which, from the looks of it, he doesn't. The only other way would be you could interpret it as maybe he was threatened to just walk through the desert, but I don't think he would take that. I think he would resist, even if it did mean getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he would back down. Anyway, let's carry on. Dylan was out building his life, his mom, Candice Cooley, told people back in June. His lifelong dream was to have his own farm. He has spent the last 2 summers ripping out and redeveloping that ground on his own. He got his water rights. He did everything. She added, as hard as it is, and as much as I hate to say it, I'm about 99% sure somebody murdered my son. Okay, well, I've not really heard that quote before, I'll be honest. But yeah, so let's come to that level of acceptance. Now, I don't know when that quote was actually used. If it was used in the past, then why was she being very hopeful, saying that she would find Dylan alive? I don't know. I mean, it is also one of those things where, regardless of how stacked it is, the odds, and that there's like, let's just say there was so much evidence that proved the person's been killed, it's still normal to think that there is hope that he's alive, despite all going against it, just because that's kind of denial, but also it's just normal. It's normal to think that way. Yeah, you can't help it. There's a photo of them. I don't know the ages of I can't talk. Is that a carrot? No. I don't know how old they are. Candice Cooley does look a lot different in that photo compared to, like, now. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what's really weird? That person on the right, well, Candice Cooley, her face looks exactly like the person in that EquiSearch team. I can't get a photo up at the moment. But if you go on, is it Duty Ron or something? Or is it on, I think it might be on Duty Ron. Yeah, go on Duty Ron's live stream to do with the recent search of EquiSearch. And one of the females who must be, in the group EquiSearch, has got a very similar face to Candice Cooley hair. It's kind of weird. And I've also got like a little spot as well under the mouth. So that's kind of weird, coincidental in a way. Okay. There's Brenner, as you can see, with a John Deere hat. Looks a lot different with a beard, doesn't he? I'll tell you another thing. Do you know who this guy looks like? And maybe some of you don't know. But this guy looks like half your Bjorsen. Bjorsen 4 from on the YouTube channel, but also the world's strongest man from Iceland. Do you know, with that beard and the slight grin on his mouth? I'll have to, do you know what? I'm going to do like a side-by-side comparison to tell you what I mean in a second, because it's just kind of weird, these like similarities. Not that they are the same person, but they just look similar. I'll do a side-by-side shortly, okay? Just remind me. Right, what else do we have here? Police have named James Brenner a criminal with a violent past as a suspect. Yep. Lance, meanwhile, still clings to the hope that Dylan will be found somewhere alive and well, though his optimism, he says, is diminishing with each passing day. In quotation, "I hope that something is found soon," said Lance. "I hope that he's found alive and he's just off somewhere and comes back and he's just fine. But at this point, knowing from what his family have said and his social media pages, this guy was just all about farming, so it'd be odd for him to just go running away from all of that. And I don't think that's the case. I think he's out there somewhere and we just have to keep searching. We want to find Dylan and bring him home. That's the goal. Should it turn out that Dylan was indeed murdered, as his mother fears, Lance issued a warning to the culprit or culprits responsible. In quotes, justice is coming for you, he confidently declared. I guess he means in the legal means with court and stuff and getting sent down. Just know that, he added, there has to be justice for Dylan and his family. Mounting suspicions. Okay, it's a long article, I wasn't expecting it, but we'll continue. A number of persons of interest have been considered in connection with Dylan's disappearance over the last 5 months. A few weeks ago, Dylan's parents said the bloodied boots recovered by investigators and the location of his phone may help to unravel the mystery of what happened to him. Okay. Number of persons of interest. So, I don't know if this is like going backwards in the case, right? Persons of interest. What, like Aviles, Venstra, Brenner, Don Hately, before some of the names were cleared. I guess that's what it's referring to. Justin Rouse and Candice Cooley told East Idaho News in October that both pieces of evidence point to a link with James Brenner, who has not been charged in the case. Brenner, 59, is one of 2 men who were thought to have had contact with Dylan in the days before his disappearance. He has been arrested on unrelated felony gun crimes along with Chase Venstra, 41 years old. But Dylan's parents believe Brenner also knows what happened to their son, whose disappearance police are now treating as a homicide investigation. There we go, clearing that up. Candice said Brenner has admitted he's the one who took the boots out there. In quotes, he said he found them by the shed on the property, picked them up, moved them by his camper somewhere, and then decided Dylan wasn't coming back for them. There's a photo of Lance Kelly. To be honest, Lance, at times with the beard, kind of looks like a Viking in a way. Lance Kelly pledged to never stop looking. Yep. There's an older photo of Dylan in the past with the snap. What's that? His cell phone pinged for the final time, same day. There's a photo of Lance going into the small gaps. You can see how small and tight it is. You know, you've got to be a certain size, right, to fit in. It could be dangerous as well. Okay. Dylan's phone, meanwhile, was found at the bottom of the pond, Lucin Pond, on June 18th. Yep. Justin said that call records show his son called Brenner on the day he disappeared. Yep. He also claims that Jim was at the pond location that same day after 2:30 p.m. So there you go. Key suspect. The US Sun has previously reported that Brenner was not interviewed by cops until June 7th. That was 10 days after Dylan, who turned 20 in August, last spoke with anyone. Search warrant was also executed at Brenner's trailer by the FBI on June 16th. Officials say they found ammunition, ignition caps, and black powder associated with muzzle-loader firearms. US Sun has already reported how the teen's truck appeared to have been tampered with. Yes, all-wheel drive, seat adjusted. His parents said it seemed too clean and was put into 4-wheel drive after Dylan had been complaining earlier that the feature wasn't working. Justin and Candice have already criticised what they say is an investigation riddled with multiple errors, omissions, lies, misconduct. The key fob to Dylan's truck was brought back and placed in Dylan's camper trailer, according to his parents. However, they claimed investigators didn't seem to care. In quotes, That happened on day number 3, and after Dylan was gone, they didn't even think to treat anything suspicious, Candice said. They didn't start thinking something's not right. Somebody's bringing this kid's stuff back now, and he's missing. No, nothing. They just continued on their merry way. Erratic behaviour. Oh no, that's something what I would say. Candice previously told the US Sun that her son was taken and he did not leave his place willingly. Dylan was last seen working on his farm, where he reportedly had a strange encounter with an unknown man days earlier. In quotes, the man was walking down the gravel road barefoot. He flagged Dylan down, who was in his truck. Round's aunt, Katie Wells, told East Idaho News. There we go. That clears up who Katie Wells is. The aunt. There we go. Good. Anything to take notes from there? Well, let's talk about Chase Venstre, really, going down that gravelled path, and I assume that's Tacoma Road or nearby, where they're referring to, in Montello, Nevada. Okay. She added, Katie Wells, that on the Wednesday before his disappearance, Rounds spoke with several family members on the phone about the man. And this would have been the 25th of May when Dylan came across Chase Venstre. Okay. In quotes, he asked to use Dylan's phone and was acting erratically. Dylan felt the man was dangerous and may have been high. When he asked Dylan for a ride, Dylan did not give him a ride. There have been no sign of Dylan and no cell phone or bank account activity since he disappeared, his parents say. Following Candice and Jim's new claims... What does it mean by Jim's new claims? What? Jim Brenner's new claims about shifting the blame onto Chase Venstre, or Jim in Jim Terry talking about the gay theory and all of that? I'm not quite sure. Blacksburg County, Utah Sheriff's Office said their case has been established as credible. Oh my God, you go girl, look at that dress. Orange, yeah, because you're glowing. Like, why do we need to see that image? What's that got to do with this? I don't know. They added, locating Dylan Rounds, protecting the integrity of the investigation and our ability to impose criminal responsibility upon anyone involved in his disappearance are our utmost priorities. The US Sun has contacted Box Elder County, Utah Sheriff's Office for comment. I assume no reply. Oh, there he is. Is that it? There you go. So hopefully I didn't repeat myself with previous articles unless they stitched it all together as one, including previous stuff. I'm not too sure, but there's some interesting information there. So it feels like that was one of the longest articles I have read in recent time. There was a lot of information to take in, but understandably to some people it's probably pretty easy if you've heard it over and over again, but there's no harm in that. The more you hear it over and over again, it's internalized in here. So if you do walk away or you do return back, you hear about it, you can pick up on it quicker, okay? As for people that are new to the case, new to this video, feel free to check my previous videos out as I specifically lock on one thing to another, one individual, one talking point, one theme, one theory, one idea at a time. So there's not too much confusion. I'll just get a quick drink. The stuff about Lance, his backstory, how he came involved, how he came across Justin. I'm sure that probably was talked about here and there on Lance's live streams, previous videos, but to have it tied and stitched all into one, visually to read off from as information, for me, first time seeing that, it was easy to follow and understand quickly. So it's good there. I'd say the article had a bit of misinformation here and there, but they kind of tied it up in some areas later on in the article. That's why I carried on reading, just to make sure. There's some weird photos which were not relevant whatsoever in that article. I don't think there were adverts either because I had the reader mode turned on. And when you turn reader mode on, only the text that's relevant to the article is like displayed, and then all the other pop-ups and adverts are moved away. So I don't know why that happened there, but yeah, leave your thoughts to what you think about that with the information of Ty and Lance, mainly Lance in that article. Do you agree with what Lance said in those quotes? Do you think the same way or not? As for Candice Cooley as well, with her update, what you saw earlier on, leave your thoughts. We're not done yet. What I will say before we move on to some dodgy time is, if you're joining right now and you want to hear more about Dylan Rounds specifically, and maybe Candice Cooley as well, rewind this video from here back to the start and then you'll be able to listen in on it. If you're not too mithered and you just want to watch live, then appreciate you watching, and we'll move on now to Google Earth, okay? Okay, so where are we going this time? I don't know. I guess we can just randomize it, okay? Let's go into the search. What should I type in first? Well, we could try Glitter Galaxy, see if Glitter Galaxy is doing any other things in between. Glitter Galaxy. Oh, Glitter Galaxy showing up already. What have you been doing? Oh, Glitter Galaxy. Cosmetics in India. Wow. Products manufacturer in Kolkata, India. Oh my goodness, we need to check this out. Oh my goodness gracious me, what a beautiful color palette. It's all glittery and sparkly, just like your personality. Very, very, very good, Glitter Galaxy. I'm very impressed. You are a very busy individual. I'm surprised you have the time to do all of this. You're running motels, you're taking photographs, you got a massive doll collection, and now you're doing cosmetics and all kinds of stuff. Very good. Now, okay, let's just slow things down. Is there anyone in the chat right now that needs some cosmetic surgery? I could think of a few names. Oh my god. Like, seriously, I really need to go myself. I need some new implants. They're a little bit flat. I think they need raising a bit, and they just need to be a bit more plump. Yeah, I really need to go. So, Glitter Galaxy, can you give me a free coupon? I know the Shack Lady has been collecting them all, but could you please give me one for free? Yeah, good. Because I want to be a bit more prominent in size. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god, Famous Up. Can you please wait your turn? Okay, you might want to go yourself. You want to get some glitter? Well, you can wait, and then you can get your glitter and you can sprinkle it all over your pretty little controller. Unless I get there first and put it on top of the table. Yeah, you're not going to be reaching that, girl. No. Is there anyone else? Well, I can't even speak because I'm so mesmerized by the purple sparkles. The purple sparkles really highlight that they're really suited for Misty. Misty definitely needs this. It's the right color tone. Oh my god, pastel goth. Let's move on. Okay, so we've got some bags here with products within. Are they product reviews? Are they going to be giving me any anytime soon? I'm not too sure. There's someone's hand, different colors there. Ooh, very sparkly. Okay. I assume that's lipstick. Oh, here we go again. Here comes the conspiracy behind Walleye Graf and his lipstick collection, man. Oh my god, I swear I saw Walleye Graf yesterday with red lipstick on. What's he doing, man? What's this abomination? Fucking Frankenstein? Okay, Kurt Wadsworth, if you're here as well, you can even use some of this yourself. I remember Kurt supposedly getting a bit pissed off because of his dodgy profile picture of I think it was a Chihuahua dog, but it was very blurry and fuzzy. It wasn't the greatest of photography. So what have we got here? We've got some more colours. Okay, Brides of India. I mean, the only thing I can say that relates to me is I've got a chicken pox scar on my forehead just above the bridge of my nose, and that's the same spot where married Indian women have a black dot or a red dot on their forehead, and I've got a bloody permanent one. So what does that say about me? Bloody hell. Okay, we've got some more colour palettes. Yeah, just my taste. Okay, so what's this all about? Neon. So you can see it in the dark, I assume, on the arm. Don't know why. Okay, stop advertising your products. I've had enough now. 15% off site-wide only for today. It's probably past its sell-by. Shit. Yeah, you look at that mirror. You go, girl. Oh my god. I wish I could wake up looking like that. What's going on? Is that it? Okay, so Glitter Galaxy, you're doing well. Let's get out of India now if we can manage to escape. We'll go back to lucin. Oh my god, get off search. Boom. I mean, at this rate, where are we going? Like, what are we going to step across next? Well, I think we need to make a presence known, right? I think it is time. Famous Op, you're next. There we go. Load up. Hole in the rock. Hole in the rock. What's that got to do with Famous Op? Famous Op. Have you been creating holes in rocks? Why? Why? Oh, I know, Famous Op. You've been using that Fortnite pickaxe, picking away for resources so you could build yourself a little shack to prevent yourself from the storm. Well, too bad. The weather is horrible. Look at that. Little head in the wall. There we go. So there's really any relevancy to this. Yes, there's several holes. I bet Joseph is having a meltdown right now. I can imagine Joseph is like, oh my god, I really don't know which to stick it in which hole. I've got too many opportunities and not enough time. Oh my god, I'm so confused. I want to make sure that the hole I go into is worth my time. Well, that's for you to decide, Joseph. If you're a little confused, I'm sure Famous can guide you, and if that's not possible, I'm sure Alchemist can hold your hand and guide you to the light. Okay? It'll be fine. Trading post. Oh my god. Blood. Well, now that's a big spanner or a wrench. God, there's a lot of knobs. Why are there so many knobs on that steering wheel? I think someone is getting a little bit carried away. Obviously, it doesn't look like it will move. More of a decoration purpose, but yeah, creative. Oh, on the side it says hard hat area. Oh, they've been going to the Wadsworth Construction Company once again. They've heard about it. Mime boss. What? This is where you take a shit. We got the bull there. Okay. A lot of bull. There's a lot of bull going on. Hole in the rock. That's the best name possible, man. Yeah, well done, Franklin. Congratulations. You made it on the wall. Okay. Bigfoot. Oh my god. Oh my god, call the Discovery Channel right now. Oh my god, call that guy with a massive forehead from Alien Talk. This is serious. Get it. Oh my god, I forgot all the names all of a sudden. I need to do my telecommunication and transportation with the fucking alien race right now. Guys, we found Bigfoot, man. Call him in. Call in the big boys. It's time we get the Discovery Channel on this and talk about it in depth. Spend 6 fucking hours walking around aimlessly saying we found something, spend another 6 fucking years of documenting it, and then by the final episode, it's on a cliffhanger, because that's how we do things. We're full of shit, just like usual, man. Okay, Bigfoot. Oh, okay. I am glad. I'm glad this individual has shared a photo of a cage, because this is the level of consequences which will arise if there are any people in chat right now. Alchemist, you may end up in here. Weedably, I don't think you will. You seem to be on good behaviour. Who is the other one? Lacey Ann? No, not them. The other individual, I forgot their name. Apologies. They might have just turned up now thinking, why are we looking at a cage? Maybe because you belong in one. Oh, maybe not. Does anyone want to go inside right now? Does Linda? I'm not really referred to Linda much. Linda, do you wanna have a little look inside? Don't worry. I won't lock it. It'll be fine. Now this is the thing. On the spot, what's it? What are you called? Linda Cushing. Linda Crushing or something. I always used to read it as Linda Gushing. I don't know why. Oh no. I always thought it was gushing. Oh no. What do we have here? Oh my god. Oh wow. Oh my god, it's MK mind control. Oh no, we gotta get out of here quick. This is a wild place, man. We got the bulls, we got Bigfoot, we've got a cage. Oh, we got a bull locked up as well with the horns. Wow, my god, what a... Oh, no, I'm not going to say that word. Wow, that's a giant sword you have there. Impressive. Very long, fairly wide, and it's even got the two little balls at the top curled up. Oh, I mean the guard of the sword. Apologies. Oh my god, what are them? Oh no, Glitter Galaxy, what's gone wrong? Linda, Christy, where have we gone? I don't know, but I don't think this is a good sign. They look very, very dodgy. Who's been leaving them out? Can you please return them and put them back into your room? Oh my. Jailhouse Rock. Wow. Is that it? Okay, so we've got some cactuses in the background. We've got a few pricks in the chat right now. No, I don't know. I'm in joking. Do you know what? Hopefully I'm referring to people in the chat like I'm not like repeating the same names. You know what I'm saying? Now, I think what we should do is some BDSM. BDSM builders. What the hell is that? Oh my god. This sounds very dodgy, right? BDSM builders. What are they wearing? Super hard leather hats or something. And they've got the little toolkit and tool belt on. Ooh, let me unwrap my toolkit. Ooh, I've just dropped my hammer. Pardon me, let me just bend down. Oh, is that the screwdriver? Oh no, it's a Phillips. Never mind, it will do. What is going on at this moment in time? I do not know. BDSM Builders Home Furniture Shop. And it just gets better because it's in the middle of the water. Wait, you want to go to BDSM Builders? You want to get hammered? You want to get drilled, Joseph? Yeah? Well, go there. Problem is, you might get a little wet. Not from excitement, but from drowning in the ocean, man. This ain't right. This isn't the way to go. No, I don't agree with this. Do you agree, Misty? Misty? I don't think so. No, we need to get out of here. This is just not good. Hikes? Oh my god, fuck off. I think we do one last visit, right? We scout out a new place, a new location. Okay, we've had Little Caesars. Okay. We've had KFC, but have we had Starbucks? Nope. This better be going Utah. No, I want Ogden. Give me Ogden. Yeah. Logan. No, I don't want Logan Paul. Get off. Ogden. Oh my god, you need Chase Venstra to guide you to the place. Is it that difficult? Oh my god, there's so many Starbucks in the area. There's only 2. Yeah, my name... Oh my god, sorry, I've not introduced myself. My name's Famous Arp. I'm a gamer girl, but I love to go to Starbucks. You know, I need to get my fix in right now. We're gonna visit the area. Oh my god, it looks so pretty. Look at the greenery all around. Whoa, this is so great. We're gonna go to one near Oaklawn Park, because then I can sit there and paint some paintings. Oh my god, we got the salted caramel marker. Yeah. We got the pumpkin spice. Yeah. We got the new chili marker. Wow, so much cream on the surface. That's a lot to get through. I think I'm gonna drown in it. Oh my god. I don't know if I can do this by myself. I don't know if I can get through this. Oh my god. I really need my hand to be held right now. I need some emotional support. Oh my god. Whoa, that's so small. Such a small little pretty place. Oh my god, it looks so cute as it's just laying there. Oh my god. Let's take a look inside. Whoa, this looks so much similar to the Shack Ladies Shake restaurant. Wow, it's so generic. Don't even have your own ideas. Whoa. What's this? Starbucks coffee? Oh my god, we've got some free food. We got some chips. Wow, I'm surprised the basket is still full. Because if Famous Up was here, there'd be nothing left. Looks like I was here before you. Just like you, Indiana. Where were you last time? You were a little bit late. Oh my god. Look at this. I'm sure I forgot your name. Apologies. The person with the blonde hair in the profile picture. I'm sure you're gonna be turning it once again thinking, what's this? Why are we talking about coffee? I really don't know at this point, but it's just what it is. It's just life, yeah? Well, look at that. I'm gonna take an aesthetic photo. I'm gonna put a coffee on top of my car. We're gonna be looking up at the clouds. Oh wow. It just really is a waste of time. Oh my god, I've got better things to be doing. Like sitting around, yeah. Whoa, look, is that a mermaid? Wow, that's what I wanted to do when I that's what I wanted to do when I wanted to grow up. I can't fucking talk. You see what happens? Yeah, that's exactly what was gonna happen. Yeah. Is there anyone in the chat right now that wanted to grow up and become a mermaid? Leave your thoughts down below. There we go. What's that? Save some time, skip the line. You said it already. That is basically Famous Ops quote. Always getting the fast tracks. Free nitro shots. God, I was reading that as the free nitro boost off Discord. Overpriced. Fucking Discord. A Discord of desolation. A fucking abysmal metropolis of corruption and ties, loose ends, all over the place. It makes no sense whatsoever. Just like this video. It's all in the mind, man. Yeah, Discord is very limited. You can't do this, you can't do that, you can't post a video, you can't post a photo. Oh, it exceeds the file limit. Oh, we can't do this, we can't do that. And you know what? When I tested Discord way back in the past, guess what? It wouldn't record the whistling in the mic, and it wouldn't even detect the horse or chicken sound. I tried doing it several times, and the person said, sorry, I can't hear you. So yeah, Discord is definitely has an agenda against horses, which is very unfortunate. Also, welcome once again if you're here right now in the live chat. If you are confused, you don't know where you're at, you want to run away, do not run away. Though, if you want to hear about Dylan Round's case and more about that focus, rewind this video right now to the start, and that's where you'll seek that information, okay? Let's continue on. Whoa. What's that? It's green. Is that the Grinch? I bet it's the Grinch that showed up in my live chat that one time that said Katie always wins. Who the fuck is Katie, man? Katie this, Katie that. The only Katie I know is I don't know any Katies. What's going on? Look at that cream. Whoa. And it was Joseph as well that seemed to get tangled up in that fort at one point. I don't know why. Whoa, girls, let's do a group selfie. Yeah? Let's show what the boys are missing out on. Yeah, boys, look at what we've got. We've got straws and we got liquid. We're sucking it all up. I bet you feel so jealous, boys. I bet you wish you could be here. Well, tough. Sorry. We're busy. It's girl time. You got that right? Yeah.
sorry boys, you go off and play around. Yeah, we're done with you. We ain't talking no more. Oh my god, to be honest, when I'm holding this, when I'm looking at it directly, and then when I've got the straw in my mouth, it still reminds me of my boyfriend. Oh my god, I've got so many problems. Like, what am I gonna do? I've got more problems than a magazine. Oh my god, can anyone read my pages, give me a fortune teller, and tell me that life's gonna be fine and better and more fun down the line, but I get opportunities to start an OnlyFans, then I drag all the people desperate and they pay me all the money? Oh my god. Wow. Wow, you see how a story can be told in a photo? And how... What's that person doing? I don't know. Oh, well, that looks like it's it. There you go. So, you know, you're even giving free shout-outs to random strangers that decide to upload photos onto her. So, Famous Up, I hope you enjoyed Starbucks. I think this is the go-to place to focus on next time, right? This is where all the Valley girls hang out. But I don't know about the fucking Sun Walls. How do you do a South Valley girl? I don't think it works out too fine, man. I just sound like a goddamn farmer. I should be working on the farm right now, picking the goddamn wheat. But I'm too tired. I need to go and get some sleep because my back, my neck is fucked, man. I don't know what I'm gonna do no more, man. I sound like a fucking guitar. And I come from Utah. Okay, there we go.
Okay, so I think that concludes that and all that wackiness. As said, make sure to watch the earlier part of the video if you want to hear about the Dylan Rounds case. And also, at the end of this, feel free to share your thoughts and additional points and questions down below in the comment section. Feel free to start a discussion if you want to about any of the information talked about. Does any of it make sense? Any of it stand out to you? Any contradictions? Let me know down below. So that's it for now, and that's it from the horse, okay? Oh god, I've got that knob thing near my mouth. Get that away from me. Get off! Why do you keep twanging in my face? I don't want that knobbly thing near me. Okay, so Famous, you better be ready to challenge this wild horse, okay? And then we'll see how the results go, okay? Anyone that wants to do any betting, you know, probably seek out Jim Terry TV to Mr. X for tips to know who's more likely to win, the horse or Famous Up, so you don't lose money and you make the most profit, okay? So aside from that, that's it, okay? It's dark, my neck's aching. So yeah, goodbye, good night for now.